Part 1: The Shattered Silence. The stars stretched into lines, then snapped back to points as the freighter Silverwing emerged from hyperspace. I'd spent 3 weeks in the belly of that tin can, surrounded by the comforting hum of the engines and the distant chatter of the crew. My name's Jax Rylan, captain of this ragtag vessel. We weren't much, but we were proud, more or less. I leaned back in my seat, scanning the vast expanse ahead. Just as I was starting to enjoy the calm of open space, the comms panel beeped with the urgency of a squealing infant. "Captain," came a voice through the static. It was Alara, my second-in-command and the voice of reason on this ship. "We're picking up something big, an anomaly. Coordinates coming your way." I flicked a switch and a holographic display sprang up, bathing the dim cockpit in a cold blue glow. The anomaly pulsed like a heartbeat on the screen, erratic and vast. It was the kind of thing you'd rather hear about over drinks than encounter firsthand, but here we were. "Jax, you thinking what I'm thinking?" Alara's voice crackled with an equal mix of curiosity and mischief. I could hear the grin lurking behind her words. I smirked, though she couldn't see it, that we should go nowhere near it. "Too late, it's already pulling us in," she replied, voice tinged with both resignation and thrill. Typical Alara, always pushing for the adventure before the tedium of a safe return. The Silverwing began to tremble, a low rumble building as the anomaly exerted its invisible grip. The external cameras painted a breathtakingly ominous picture. It was a colossal, swirling mass of light and shadow. At its heart, an alien megastructure loomed, suspended like a spider in its web. Before I could issue a command, the ship lurched violently. We were ensnared in the anomaly's pull, a cosmic trap with no escape. "All hands brace for impact," I shouted over the intercom, more out of habit than hope. The crew scrambled, strapping in as the ship careened towards the alien construct. Metallic groans echoed through the corridors, the sound of a ship protesting its fate. We had no choice but to ride it out, like a leaf in a hurricane. And then, silence. We floated within the gravity well of the structure, our instruments both overwhelmed and useless. I unbuckled myself, heart pounding. "Alara status?" I asked, though I hardly needed to. The moment spoke volumes. "Intact, Captain, mostly," she replied, her voice dripping with relief. "But we're not going anywhere without figuring out what's holding us." We were parked in the shadow of a cosmic beast. My skin tingled with the static charge of something ancient and powerful. It was time to explore, though I'd sooner face a charging space rhino than the unknown of a place like this. Our ship's reality distortion sensors indicated the megastructure was built by a species long gone, leaving behind a labyrinthine ruin. I gathered the team. Alara, always with a laser pistol at her hip, Vorn, our mechanic and grumbler-in-chief, and Aiko, whose knack for deciphering alien tech was rivaled only by her talent for terrible jokes. "Gear up, we have a mystery to solve," I said, injecting more confidence into my voice than I felt. "And Aiko, keep the jokes to a minimum this time. We don't need a laughing fit in the middle of a death trap." She winked. "No promises, Captain." We suited up and descended into the depths of the megastructure. The air hummed with potential energy, and the walls bore intricate carvings that seemed to shift when I wasn't looking, like they were watching us back. "Anyone else feel like we're trespassing on ancient secrets?" Vorn grumbled, his voice echoing eerily. "Only because we are," I replied, scanning our surroundings for clues or danger. I wasn't sure which I wanted to find first to justify the tension in my gut. Then we saw it, an enormous chamber, dominated by a crystalline apparatus suspended from the ceiling. It pulsed with an otherworldly light, casting prismatic shadows that danced like specters across the walls. "That's what's keeping us here," Alara said, eyes wide. "We disable it and we can leave. Or we blow it up and take half the sector with us," I muttered under my breath. "Vorn, Aiko, can you figure out what makes it tick?" They nodded, moving closer, awe and trepidation warring in their expressions. I hung back, senses attuned for anything remotely dangerous. Which is why I spotted movement, a slinking shadow to our right. My heart skipped a beat. I motioned to Alara, and we crept forward, blasters at the ready. What we found was not what I expected. It was a creature unlike anything I'd seen, making its way toward the apparatus. It was all sinew and grace, shimmering with a bioluminescent glow. Its form was abstract, shifting both there and not. Like light refracted through crystal, its every step was a study in elegance and physics-defying strangeness. "Is that thing Khan?" Trolling the structure, Alara asked, disbelief coloring her voice. It paused, turning to us with eyes, or what I assumed were eyes, full of alien curiosity. And then it did something entirely unexpected. It spoke, or rather, projected thoughts directly into my mind, its voice a tapestry of colors and sounds. "Seekers of knowledge or disruptors of balance?" it asked, each word a ripple through my consciousness. I exchanged glances with Alara. This was a potential first contact scenario, complete with an existential interrogation, just another Tuesday for us. "We seek understanding and freedom," I replied, hesitating only slightly. "We're trapped and we need to leave." The creature considered, its form shifting like a kaleidoscope. "There are trials you must overcome, prove your intent." "Great," I murmured, "space bureaucracy." It gestured and the chamber transformed around us, a maze of light and sound, shifting walls and floors. The creature had given us a test. We needed to pass it to survive. No pressure at all. Part 2, Trials of the Luminous Labyrinth Asterisk. Our breath echoed in the silence that followed, mingling with the eerie hum of the shifting labyrinth. The creature, now a specter of color on the periphery of my vision, watched us with an inscrutable presence. The air felt charged with the weight of all our past decisions, as if the structure itself was alive and judging. "Anybody else feeling like a mouse in a cosmic maze?" Aiko quipped, though the nervous edge in her voice betrayed her unease. I allowed myself a wry smile. "I think we're more like rats, and I'd rather not find out what the cheese is." A ripple of laughter passed through our group, an anchor in the surreal landscape we'd found ourselves in. But there was no time to dwell. The walls glowed, signaling the start of the trial. I took a deep breath. We were explorers, after all, even if our map was drawn as we walked. We moved cautiously, the ground beneath our feet shimmering with each step. The walls shifted like liquid, revealing new paths and closing others. It was a living puzzle, each piece a potential trap or revelation. "Stick together," I instructed. "We don't know if this thing separates the righteous from the rash." We followed a path that seemed to beckon us forward, the light pulsing in rhythm with our footsteps. As we turned a corner, the air vibrated, and a series of symbols danced across the walls like ethereal graffiti. Aiko squinted at them, her brow furrowing in concentration. "I think these are guiding us, a language of sorts, if I can just translate it." "Work your magic, Aiko," I encouraged, keeping an eye on the ever-shifting passages around us. Vorn, ever the anxious one, glanced back the way we'd come. "I've got a bad feeling about this maze, like it's reading us as much as we're reading it." "Just focus on moving forward," Alara said, more tense than usual. "These walls are smarter than they look." The symbols on the walls began to coalesce, forming an intricate pattern that Aiko deciphered aloud. "It's a riddle. To become whole, one must embrace the light and shadow both." "Cryptic," I mused, the phrase hanging heavy in the air. "Any thoughts on how we do that without, perishing?" Aiko gestured to a series of doorways ahead, each glowing a different hue. "I think we need to choose, light or shadow." A choice, the kind that could either propel us forward or bury us in the labyrinth forever. My gut twisted with the weight of it, every captain's nightmare, a decision with no clear answer. "Let's trust in balance," I decided, picking a doorway where both light and shadow mingled in a dance of harmony. If this place values equilibrium, it's where we need to be. Together we stepped through, the threshold thrumming with an energy that tugged at our very souls. On the other side, the path opened into a vast chamber, filled with pools of luminous liquid. The air was cool, the glow soft and inviting, yet filled with a deceptive tension. In the center, a pedestal bore a crystal, its surface etched with swirling patterns. It was mesmerizing, a focal point for the eye and mind both. "Think that's what we're here for?" Vorn asked, voice low, as if the chamber might overhear. "Only one way to find out," I replied, advancing cautiously toward the pedestal. Aiko and Alara flanked me, while Vorn stood watch, eyes darting around us. As my hand hovered over the crystal, the creature reappeared, its form rippling in the liquid light. It projected a deeper message, resonating within my bones. The choice made, reflection found. What is seen must be understood. The crystal was not just a key, it was a lens, a mirror into our very essence. I braced myself and grasped it, a flood of sensation cascading through me. Memories, emotions, choices, all reflected in the crystal, demanding acknowledgement. I saw my life laid bare in its facets, every decision that led to this moment, every regret and triumph. It was overwhelming, but impossible to turn away. I caught glimpses of my crew, their paths intertwined with mine, a tapestry of shared destinies. Then it changed, revealing something new, a vision of the megastructure, whole and active, in a time long past. It was a vibrant civilization, thriving and symbiotic with their creation. But something had gone wrong, an imbalance, a collapse, and now we were part of the attempt to restore it. I released the crystal, my breath ragged and mind spinning. The creature regarded me, the faintest hint of approval emanating from its shifting form. "You understand," it projected, the satisfaction in its tone clear. "You may proceed, seek the core." With that, a new path materialized, leading us deeper into the structure. We had passed the first trial, but the journey was far from over. As we regrouped, Vorn chuckled, though the sound was more relief than humor. "Well, that was enlightening," he said, earning a groan from Aiko. Alara shot me a sidelong glance. "Think we'll find any more wisdom along the way, Jax?" "Only if we're lucky," I replied, my gaze set on the path ahead. The stakes had risen, and our path was lit with both promise and peril. As the maze shifted around us, I realized we weren't just fighting for our freedom. We were part of something bigger, a cosmic cycle of balance and restoration, and we had only just begun to understand our role. Part 3: Echoes of Forgotten Stars. The path before us beckoned, alive with whispers of history and power. Each step echoed softly, the sound swallowed by the vastness around us. The labyrinth's maze had shifted into a series of interconnected chambers, each more intricate than the last, suggesting layers of purpose lost to time. Aiko was in her element, her fingers tracing the walls, eyes ablaze with the thrill of discovery. "This place is a historian's dream," she murmured, her voice reverent. "So much to learn from these patterns." "Or a nightmare," countered Vorn, glancing around nervously. "Depends on whether you make it out alive to tell the tale." Alara shot him a look. "Focus, Vorn. Shadows can't hurt you unless you let them." Despite the tension, I felt a pull towards the core of this place, a magnetic allure of secrets just out of reach. The creature had granted us passage, but I couldn't shake the feeling that our every move was being watched, weighed against some cosmic scale. The chambers began to pulse with greater intensity, each heartbeat of light revealing more of the alien script. It was beautiful and terrifying, an invitation to lose oneself in the dance of symbols. "These rooms tell a story," Aiko said, her gaze scanning the text. "Look here, a civilization in harmony with their technology. But here," she pointed, disruption, a fracture in their way of life. This place was both sanctuary and prison. "Do you think it's still active?" Alara asked, a thread of concern in her voice. "We could be walking into something we can't control." "That's a risk," I admitted, the weight of command pressing down on me. "But if there's any hope of understanding what happened, we need to keep going." We moved deeper, the air growing thinner, charged with an energy that seemed almost aware. The next chamber opened into a vast expanse under a vaulted ceiling, starlight spilling through crystalline apertures. It gave the unsettling impression of standing under a night sky, yet here, inside this alien relic. At the center of the room stood a dais, an intricate control panel embedded with shards of some luminescent material. It resonated with potential, and I could almost hear the gentle hum of long-dormant systems awakening at our presence. So this is it, I said, stepping forward, taking in the complex array, the heart of the structure. Jax, wait, Ilara's warning came too late. The moment my hand brushed the panel, reality itself seemed to tremble. The chamber filled with a cascade of projected images, scenes from a time before our own. An alien world thriving with life, constructs that soared into the sky, and beings of light moving gracefully amongst them. But as the images progressed, a shadow fell. The harmony shattered, plunging their world into chaos. And then I saw it, a colossal vessel descending from the heavens, its purpose inscrutable but ominous in its silence. The same shape echoed in the carvings around us, suggesting a connection between the megastructure and this ancient ship. As the vision faded, the chamber thundered with a reverberation I felt in my bones. The ship was real, and it was here, somewhere within the heart of this anomaly. "We've got company," Vorn muttered, gesturing to a new passage that had opened across the room. It was cloaked in shadow, leading into the depths. "Looks like our path is set," I said, steadying my resolve. "If that ship holds the answers, we're going to find it." The air shifted, a gust carrying the scent of ozone and something ancient, something that tasted of potential and peril. Emotions flickered amongst the crew, excitement, fear, determination. We were all caught in the gravity of our shared fate. The passage led us into a narrower tunnel, the walls dense with layers of circuitry that seemed to pulse in time with our own heartbeats. Each turn revealed another secret, fragments of technology so advanced it stretched the limits of our understanding. "Jax," Ilara said, her voice a hushed whisper, "do you think anyone else has been here before us?" "If they have," I replied, glancing back at the scattered remnants of equipment as alien to us as it was familiar, they didn't leave a return address. Suddenly, the passage opened into an enormous cavern, dominated by a ship unlike any crafted by human hands. Its lines were sleek and otherworldly, gleaming under the ambient light, the same vessel from the visions, a ghost ship in the truest sense. "That's our prize," Aiko breathed, a mixture of awe and ambition lighting her features. "The key to everything." "But what does it unlock?" Vorn wondered aloud, his voice barely more than a breath. "Knowledge, power, or something else entirely?" Before I could answer, the creature reappeared, its luminous form hovering above us, watching with that same inscrutable gaze. "The echoes of the past await," it projected, each word a ripple across the surface of our consciousness. "Lightning," Odded, feeling the weight of history and purpose settle upon me. "Then let's hope we're ready to listen." As we approached the ship, its hull shimmered, almost as if reacting to our presence. The entrance yawned open, inviting us inside the heart of its mysteries. With every step forward, I felt the stakes rise. We were on the cusp of something monumental, a discovery that could reshape our understanding of the universe or undo us entirely. As the shadows of the ancient ship swallowed us, I knew there was no turning back. Whatever awaited us, we'd face it together, guided by the echoes of forgotten stars. Part 4: Beneath the Veil of Time. The interior of the alien ship was an astonishing mix of geometry and light, every surface alive, with a faint luminescence that shifted and danced as we moved. It felt as though we had entered the belly of a sleeping giant, its breath whispering secrets from eons past, waiting for us to unearth them. "Feels like we're walking inside a living organism," Aiko observed, her fingers grazing the walls. The surface was cool and smooth, resonating with an energy that was both inviting and foreboding. "Just remember," Vorn cautioned, "this organism's been dormant for a reason. Let's try not to wake it up in the wrong way." Ilara took point, her steps precise and deliberate. "Stay sharp. If this ship's anything like the structure outside, it won't let us pass without a challenge." We soon reached the core of the vessel, a vast chamber centered around a colossal console of shimmering crystals and conduits. It crackled with power, a silent heart that still beat with the pulse of the ancients. "Looks like the brain of this beast," I mused, approaching the console. The air was thick with potential, each second stretching taut with anticipation. Aiko's eyes sparkled with the thrill of discovery. "We need to understand this system. There's bound to be a path here, something that ties all of this together." Just don't push the wrong button and send us spiraling into a black hole, Vorn quipped, his nervous humor filling the room with a ripple of tension-breaking laughter. We worked in silence, our movements synchronized by shared purpose. Each of us interacted with the console, deciphering the alien language that scrawled across its surface. The ship systems began to stir, a symphony of lights and sounds waking from their slumber. There's a pattern here, Allure said, her voice steady and thoughtful, a sequence that matches what we've seen in the labyrinth. She manipulated the console, and the chamber responded, projections cascading around us. Except this time, the visions were different, snatches of the alien civilization's triumphs and their fall, a tapestry of their achievements, their joys, and ultimately, their demise. A shadow loomed over everything, a cosmic force, an imbalance that had consumed them. It was both external and internal, a dichotomy of peace and turmoil that echoed what we had glimpsed in the visions earlier. There's something more, I said, my gut tight with anticipation. A connection between this ship and the anomaly itself. We need to find what holds them together. Aiko nodded, her mind already racing ahead. If we can access the ship's logs, we might piece together how they intended to restore balance. We delved deeper into the console, our fingers dancing across the interface. It was an intricate dance of logic and understanding, each piece a key to the unfolding puzzle. Then suddenly the chamber darkened, a heavy silence pressing down on us. The ship systems flickered, and a new presence emerged, a holographic projection of an alien being, its form majestic and ethereal. It regarded us with an unreadable expression, its voice resonating in our minds. Welcome, seekers. You stand at the precipice of choice and destiny. Our legacy is at your command. I stepped forward, addressing the apparition. We need to understand what happened here, the anomaly, your people. How can we help restore what was lost? The projection inclined its head, the air shimmering with its presence. The anomaly you encountered is a wound. Our attempt to harness cosmic energies led to imbalance. This vessel was our last hope, a bridge to mend the tear. You must choose wisely, for the path to harmony is fraught with peril. A series of segments lit up on the console, each offering a solution, a possible path. To stabilize the anomaly, to harness its power, or to let it be, maintaining its existence as a necessary scar upon the universe. Each option weighed heavy with consequence, an irreversible choice that would bind us to the fate of this place and its lost civilization. Jax, Allure said softly, her voice cutting through the gravity of the moment. Whatever choice we make, it's up to you. I met her gaze, feeling the weight of leadership press upon my shoulders. In that moment, the laughter and camaraderie we shared felt a world away, and yet, it was the bond that would guide my decision. The choice is clear, I said, heart resolute. We stabilize the anomaly. It's what they wanted, a return to balance, to harmony. The console responded to my decision, a cascade of light enveloping the chamber. Systems hummed to life, aligning with the ancient intent of their creators. The vessel began its work, emitting waves of energy that coursed through the megastructure. The projection watched us with something akin to approval, then dissipated, leaving behind an echo of its parting message. May the stars guide your journey, and may you find what we could not. The ship systems completed their task, the anomaly beyond shifting and settling, its presence lessened to a mere whisper of what it had been. As the calm spread, I felt a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection spanning across time and space. The alien vessel, the megastructure, and the lives lost in its creation were now woven into the cosmic tapestry once more. We turned back, our path illuminated by the gentle glow of a healed star field. The journey back through the labyrinth was swift, and as the Silverwing came into view, I felt the gravity of what we had accomplished, not just for ourselves, but for all those who came before us. As we reboarded the ship, Aiko clapped her hands together. Well, that was a blast. Who's up for some less cosmic puzzles next time? Vorn chuckled, shaking his head as he headed for his console. As long as they don't involve life or death decisions, I'm in. Allure gave me a nod, her eyes bright with unspoken thanks. You did well, Jax, we all did. The Silverwing thrummed to life, a familiar comfort as we broke free from the anomaly, our course set for new stars and fresh adventures. We were explorers once more, with the echoes of forgotten stars etched into our souls and the universe spread out before us, waiting to be discovered anew. Part 5: The Cosmic Tapestry. We soared into the black, leaving the resplendent glow of the anomaly behind. The Silverwing hummed with renewed vigor, each thrum of its engines a promise of future journeys. Space unfolded before us, a vast canvas of possibility, and within that expanse lay our next destination, an uncharted sector rumored to hold ancient star maps. Allure, ever the pragmatic, had plotted a course while the rest of us were still rubbing the stardust from our eyes. "I've pinpointed an area rich with navigational anomalies," she announced, her fingers dancing over the control panel. "If the rumors are true, it's where we'll find the maps, and perhaps more." Aiko rolled her eyes playfully, leaning back in her chair. "More star maps, aren't the ones we have complex enough? I still haven't deciphered half of them, and I have all the intelligence of a small supercomputer." "No rest for the wickedly curious, Aiko," I replied, a grin playing on my lips despite the unknowns ahead. "Besides, you know as well as I do that these maps could lead us to lost civilizations, hidden treasures, or, at the very least, a star system with a decent vacation planet." I had intended it as a joke, but the truth wasn't far from my words. Such maps were the stuff of legend, cryptic guides to the remnants of worlds that had once thrived in this galactic corner. Vorn joined us, a mug of steaming brew in hand, the rich aroma filling the bridge. "Here's to hoping these star maps come with a side of good luck. Last time you chased a rumor, Jax, we ended up running from killer vines and a very angry plant." I raised my own mug in a mock toast, "To the unknown, and may it be slightly less perilous this time." The course was set, the engines pushed to full, and the Silverwing slipped into hyperspace with the grace of a dancer leaping from one great stage to the next. The perspective shifted as we cut through the void, the stars smearing into lines and then settling into their eternal positions once more. As we neared our destination, the ship's sensors came alive, a symphony of beeps and alerts that hinted at more than just star maps waiting for us. A dense asteroid field loomed, heavy with the metallic whispers of long-forgotten technologies. "Looks like we've got our work cut out for us," Allure said, her voice a mix of challenge and excitement. Navigating through an asteroid field was a high-stakes game of reflexes and skill, something she relished. The Silverwing danced through the debris, a deft maneuvering that made me grateful for every hour spent honing our flight skills. As we emerged on the other side, the view took my breath away. Hanging before us was a colossal ring-shaped structure, ancient and majestic. It spanned hundreds of kilometers, its surface encrusted with crystalline nodes that pulsed in a slow, deliberate rhythm. "That's not just a map," Vorn breathed, awestruck. "That's a whole library, a cosmic archive." Aiko was already at her station, scanning the structure. "I'm picking up multi-lectures of data streams, encrypted and layered. It's like this thing has been recording the universe itself." The prospect was staggering. This archive could hold knowledge beyond imagining, histories, technologies, entire galaxies charted and cataloged. The universe was a book, and we had stumbled upon one of its most sacred libraries. But as we drew nearer, an uneasy tension crept into the air. Something wasn't right. My instincts, honed through years of dancing with danger, warned me to stay vigilant. "Cap, there's something else," Allure said, frowning at her display. "We're not alone." As if on cue, a vessel emerged from the shadow of the archive, its sleek lines and bristling weaponry marking it as a craft of war. It was unlike any ship I'd seen, its hull dark and shifting as if woven from the night itself. "Unknown vessel," a voice crackled over the comms, smooth and almost courteous. "You are trespassing on restricted territory. Identify yourselves and state your purpose." I shared a look with Allure, the silent question hanging between us. This was supposed to be uncharted space, untouched by sentient hands for eons, yet here was a guardian, or perhaps a claimant, of the archive. "This is Captain Jax Rylan of the Silverwing," I replied, keeping my tone calm and diplomatic. "We're explorers seeking knowledge, we mean no harm." A pause pregnant with expectation. Knowledge must be earned, the voice returned, steel threading its courtesy. Prepare for inspection. Any resistance will be met with force. Guess we're not the first ones to think of raiding the library, Vorn muttered, already checking our systems in preparation. Let's see what they want, I said, gesturing to open a comm channel. The warship approached, its presence as imposing as its arsenal. I took a deep breath, steadying myself for the encounter. We were about to negotiate with unknown forces over some of the galaxy's most prized secrets. As we docked, a boarding party materialized on our screens, humanoid, but with an elegance and symmetry that suggested genetic crafting. Their uniforms bore the insignia of a civilization unknown to us, suggesting a far-reaching empire. The leader, a tall figure with eyes sharp as starlight, stepped forward. I am Commander Kellys of the Harmonious Accord. We are the custodians of this archive. Your intentions will determine your outcome. The challenge was clear. We needed to prove ourselves worthy, not just of the data stored within the archive, but of the trust of those who guarded it. As we stood on the edge of discovery, the stakes had never been higher. We would need diplomacy, intellect, and perhaps a touch of our infamous luck to navigate the path ahead, a path that promised to unravel the secrets of the universe or ensnare us in its complexities forever. Part 6. The Custodian's Test. The air inside the Silverwing was charged with a mixture of apprehension and anticipation as we prepared to receive our unexpected visitors. The boarding party from the Harmonious Accord moved with a fluid precision, their movements almost choreographed, implying a culture steeped in discipline and unity. Commander Kelly stepped into the ship, eyes assessing every detail with unsettling acuity. His presence was a study in controlled authority, each line of his posture seemingly etched from the fabric of command itself. Captain Rylan, he addressed me with a nod, his voice echoing with the weight of unspoken history. You stand before the legacy of countless civilizations. Each has left their mark upon the archive. I returned the nod, meeting his gaze with one of steely intent. We seek only to understand and preserve this knowledge, to add to the tapestry of the universe's history. His gaze flickered with something akin to curiosity, a minute shift that spoke volumes. The archive is not just data, it is a living testament, a guardian of balance, and balance requires a test of worthiness. Are you prepared to undergo the custodian's test? I exchanged quick glances with my crew. Ilara's eyes were steady and supportive, while Aiko seemed intrigued, her mind already leaping ahead to the possibilities that lay within those ancient data streams. Vorn, ever the realist, gave a resigned shrug that seemed to say, "Here we go again." "We're ready," I affirmed, my voice carrying the weight of our collective resolve. Commander Kelly's gestured, and the air between us shimmered, revealing a doorway of light leading into the heart of the archive. This path will take you to the Chamber of Echoes. There, you must prove your intent and resolve. As we stepped through, reality shifted. The passageway dissolved into a panoramic view of the cosmos, vast and infinite, stars wheeling in silent symphony around us. It felt as though we were adrift in a sea of eternity, each celestial body a whisper of forgotten stories. The Chamber of Echoes was a vast, spherical room, its walls a mosaic of light and shadow, constantly shifting in response to unseen currents. At its center stood an ancient dais, crystalline structures rising from it like the branches of a tree, capturing and refracting the ambient starlight into intricate patterns. "This is incredible," Aiko breathed, her eyes wide as she took in the breathtaking spectacle. "The architecture, it's like it's listening to us." Ilara nodded, her voice hushed with awe. "I can feel it too. There's a consciousness here, woven into the very fabric of the place." A projection flickered into being above the dais, vibrant and alive. It was a tapestry of sound and light, a symphony that spoke of epochs and eras, each note a fragment of memory. We watched as the projection shifted, displaying scenes of worlds thriving and crumbling, civilizations rising and falling, their stories etched into the cosmos itself. "This is the test," Vorn said, running a hand through his hair, "understanding the past to guide the future." I stepped closer to the dais, feeling its pull. The projections responded, focusing on a single narrative, a civilization much like our own, faced with choices that would lead either to prosperity or ruin. The room thrummed with potential, and I realized that our thoughts, our very essence, were interacting with the archive. Our intentions were the key, our collective resolve to learn and grow, to connect with the legacy of those who had come before us. But suddenly a shadow fell across the chamber, a disruption, a jagged tear in the harmony of the space. The projections faltered, flickering, as though battling an unseen force. "What's happening?" Alara asked, her voice tense, eyes scanning for immediate threats. "Something trying to destabilize the archive," Aiko replied quickly, her fingers flying over her scanner. "An external force, but connected to us, or through us." The crystal structures on the dais resonated, a desperate call for balance. Instinctively, I reached out, my hand brushing the cool surface. The room responded, an intricate dance of light weaving around my fingers, seeking coherence. I felt the pull of the archive's challenge, to restore harmony, to bridge the gap between past and present. A choice lay before us, one that required not just knowledge, but insight and empathy. "Focus on unity," I instructed, my voice calm yet urgent. "We must link our efforts, bring our perspectives together." Ilara, Aiko, and Vorn joined me, their hands meeting mine on the crystalline surface. The room pulsed with a renewed energy, the warmth of connection flowing through us, binding us to each other and to the archive. The projection stabilized, the light coalescing into a vibrant tapestry of harmonious symphony. The shadow receded, leaving in its wake a profound sense of peace and understanding. The sense of accomplishment was palpable. We had passed the test, not by force or tactics, but through a unity of purpose. As we withdrew our hands, the echoes of the archive resonated around us, a gentle benediction of light and sound. We had proven ourselves worthy, not just as explorers, but as stewards of the knowledge contained within these ancient halls. Commander Kelly's awaited us as we retraced our steps, his expression inscrutable yet somehow approving. "You have touched the heart of the archive and emerged whole. Your journey is just beginning." With a final nod, he and his team returned to their vessel, leaving us once again with the stars as our guide. As the Silverwing set course for new adventures, I felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey we'd undertaken. We were part of something far greater than ourselves, a cosmic tapestry of life woven from the threads of countless stories. The universe was waiting, and we were ready to explore its mysteries, guided by the wisdom of the archive and the unity of our shared purpose. Part 7: Threads of Destiny. Departing from the cosmic archive felt like leaving a dream, the kind that clings to you even after you wake, colors and emotions lingering in the mind. The Silverwing sailed onward, stars shimmering in its wake, as if the universe itself was bidding us farewell. Our destination was a distant pulsar, a beacon of mysterious signals that had eluded decryption for generations. Rumor had it the star's oscillations held a secret, a guide to an undiscovered realm. In the weeks following our trial, the crew had settled back into their routines, yet there was an unspoken bond stronger than before. Aiko was buried in her data, threads of ancient algorithms weaving through her thoughts like a cosmic web. Vorn alternated between bouts of nervous energy and rare moments of reflection, while Alara maintained a steady vigilance, ever the sentinel against the unexpected. As the pulsar's rhythmic glow filled the bridge, a sense of anticipation crept into our collective consciousness. The signals it emitted were like the notes of an enigmatic song, their pattern complex yet tantalizingly close to understanding. "Our instruments are picking up anomalies in the pulsar's emissions," Aiko announced, her eyes alight with the thrill of a new puzzle. "It's like a code shifting frequencies in a sequence, like cosmic Morse." "Think it'll lead us somewhere, or is it just another siren's call?" Vorn asked, his reservations a constant hum beneath his words. "Only one way to find out," I replied, leaning forward as the pulsar loomed larger ahead, its brilliance flooding the cockpit with light. Alara initiated a series of complex calculations, her fingers a blur across her console. "If we can sync our nav systems with the signal's frequency, we might be able to triangulate a destination, wherever that may be. The Silverwing adjusted its course, aligning with the pulsar's radiant beams. As we drew closer, the ship systems hummed with a resonance that seemed to echo the pulsar's song. It was as if we were tapping into a cosmic choir, the harmony of stars and spacetime. Moments later, the ship's computer chimed, alerting us to a breach in the fabric of space nearby, a rift, shimmering and ethereal, a doorway veiled in light and shadow. "That's not something you see every day," Vorn muttered, eyes wide in astonishment. "Looks like we've found our passage," Allure said, a hint of awe in her voice. The rift pulsed in time with the pulsar, inviting us to step beyond the known. With a nod of confirmation to the crew, I guided the Silverwing towards the threshold. The ship shivered as it entered the rift, the space around us warping and bending, colors swirling in a kaleidoscope of sensation. On the other side, we emerged into a realm unlike any other. A landscape of swirling nebulae and crystalline formations stretched across the void, each edifice glowing with an inner light. It was as if we had stepped into the heart of a star, a place where the fabric of spacetime was woven from light and harmony. "It's beautiful," Eiko whispered, her voice filled with wonder. "This is what the pulsar was hiding, a hidden universe." As we navigated deeper into this newfound territory, the Silverwing's sensors picked up traces of technology, faint signatures echoing throughout the vast expanse. Our curiosity piqued. We followed the signals to a clearing within the nebula. There, nestled among the luminescent clouds, was a vast construct, a sprawling city of light suspended in the void. Its architecture was unlike anything we'd seen, a blend of organic and technological, as if the builders had harnessed the very essence of the universe to craft their home. "This is incredible," Allure said, eyes wide. "Whoever built this must have understood the cosmos on a level we can only dream of." We touched down on a landing platform, the Silverwing's hull aglow with the ambient light. As we disembarked, the ground beneath our feet resonated with a welcoming hum, a gentle melody that seemed to guide us. A figure appeared, stepping from the shadows of the ethereal city, an entity of pure light, shifting and radiant, its form both alien and familiar. It moved with a grace that spoke of ancient wisdom and timeless peace. "Welcome, travelers," it said, its voice a chorus of harmonics, each note a thread in the tapestry of existence. "We are the Luminals, the keepers of this realm. You are honored guests." The Luminal's presence enveloped us in a warmth that transcended the physical, a connection that was instantly reassuring. My crew, though awestruck, remained composed, their instincts aligning with the energy around us. "What is this place?" I asked, as the Luminal gestured for us to follow it through the luminous streets. "This is the Nexus, a sanctuary beyond the veil of time," the Luminal explained. "Here, we preserve the legacy of those who came before, bridging the past and future, safeguarding the continuum." Lanko's eyes were wide with fascination, and the pulsar, was it a guide, a beacon you sent for us? The Luminal nodded, its light flickering in affirmation. "The pulsar sings the song of the universe, a melody that calls to those who seek harmony. You answered its call." As we walked, the Nexus revealed its wonders, a library of starlight, a garden of harmonics, each space resonating with the history and potential of civilizations both known and unknown. It was a place where the stories of the universe converged, a sanctuary where time and space danced in perfect unity. Before long, the path led us to a grand hall, its walls alive with shifting constellations. The Luminal gestured to a central dais, upon which lay a crystalline sphere, pulsating with a gentle radiance. "This is the heart of the Nexus," the Luminal said. "It contains the collective wisdom of our realm. Your journey has led you here, where the past and future meet." As I reached out to touch the sphere, a wave of understanding washed over me, a connection to the great tapestry of existence. It was a moment of profound clarity, a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that lay before us. The Luminal watched, its light a steady beacon of guidance. "May your path be illuminated by the light of the stars, and may you carry the harmony of the Nexus with you." With the heart of the Nexus imprinted upon our souls, we departed the Luminal city, the Silverwing alighting once more into the expansive embrace of the hidden universe. We left the Nexus with new purpose, our journey enriched by the wisdom of the Luminals, a journey that would carry us forward, into the heart of the galaxy and beyond, where new adventures awaited, bound together by the threads of destiny. Part 8. The Fading Reflections. Departing from the Nexus was like waking from a dream, yet carrying its warmth into the waking world. The Silverwing drifted through the quiet void, resonating with the echoes of the luminal wisdom. Our course was charted for a cluster known as the Chalice Nebula, said to hold a mystery cloaked in cosmic shadows. Ilara and I stood at the helm, watching the stars slip by, each one a pinprick in the vast canvas of black. It felt like the universe was spinning a new tale, threads of light weaving into patterns still unknown. We've encountered echoes of the past and wisdom of the ancients, Ilara mused, her gaze locked on the distant stars. I wonder what the chalice hides, maybe something new to guide us. Or challenge us, I added, the possibilities flickering through my mind like the stars outside. Aiko's voice chimed over the intercom, her enthusiasm undampened by the quietude. Captain, I've been analyzing the data from the Nexus. There's a signal, faint and fragmented, leading towards the Chalice Nebula. It's like a whisper across galaxies. We've got company, Vorn interrupted, his fingers flying over the tactical console. Sensors are picking up a ship trailing us. They've kept a distance, but they're there, watching. I nodded, a murmur of unease curling in my gut. Keep an eye on them, Vorn. Let's stay ahead and see what the nebula reveals. As we approached the Chalice Nebula, its opalescent hues unfurled before us, a swirling sea of blues and purples, cut through with streaks of silver stardust. Within its depths lay a star, its light diffusing through the nebula's shroud like a beacon or a siren's call. That light, Aiko said, her voice edged with intrigue. It's pulsating in a pattern almost like the pulsar, but not quite the same. It's an invitation. We plunged into the nebula, its mists enveloping the Silverwing in a gentle embrace. The ship systems hummed in resonance with the cosmic symphony, the interplay of energy and matter setting my skin tingling with the potential of an uncharted realm. Our instruments flickered, capturing the signal's source, a crystalline structure suspended within the nebula, its facets catching the star's glow. It seemed both solid and ethereal, a presence that defied simple understanding. The architecture, Ilara noted, peering at the scans. It's different from the Nexus but shares some similarities, perhaps a distant cousin in this cosmic family. We landed on a platform of shimmering glass, the Silverwing settling with a soft thud. As we disembarked, the air itself seemed alive, a soft hum that vibrated through my bones. This place feels sentient, Vorn said, his voice hushed as though afraid to disturb the stillness. The crystalline spires rose around us, leading toward a central chamber. As we moved deeper, the light refracted in prismatic arcs, casting rainbows across the ground, a path of opalescent promise. In the heart of the structure, we found a chamber bathed in the cool light of the nebula's star, an intricate array of mirrors and lenses suspended from above. They rotated slowly, each movement capturing the light and spinning it into a web of luminance that danced across the chamber walls. Close to the center, a console beckoned, crafted from the same crystalline material, intricate and inviting. Aiko was drawn to it immediately, her fingers hovering over its surface. It's a reflector, she said, her voice filled with awe, a recorder of events, of histories, galactic reflections captured in light. As she activated the console, the chamber responded, projecting images across the mirrors, flashes of ancient worlds, glimpses of stars being born and dying, cosmic events recorded in light and shadow. These are the reflections of time, Ilara whispered, her eyes wide with wonder, captured here within this monument. We watched, entranced, as the story of the galaxy unfurled before us, a tapestry of existence preserved in the celestial vault of the Chalice Nebula. Then, the images changed, showing a series of events leading to a catastrophic collapse, a warning recorded by those who had come before. This is their message, I said, my voice reverberating through the crystalline hall, a warning about cycles, about the fragile balance that holds the universe together. Before we could process further, the air shifted, a tremor running through the structure as the images faded. The Watcher ship, the one trailing us, emerged from the nebula's veil, proximity alarms echoing across our comms. "They're here and they've locked onto us," Vorn called out, his tone urgent. "Whoever they are, they're not just here to watch." "Time to move," I ordered, urgency in my voice as we retreated to the Silverwing. The ship systems powered up, engines thrumming to life as we prepared to break free from the crystalline embrace of the chalice. As we lifted off, the Watcher ship loomed closer, its intentions still concealed behind a wall of static and silence. The nebula's mists parted, revealing the vast emptiness beyond, a canvas upon which the future was yet to be painted. With a burst of speed, the Silverwing shot forward, leaving the chalice behind. The signals faded into the distance, but the echoes of their warning resonated within us, a reminder of the fragile tapestry of existence and the threads we were now a part of. As we sped away, Vorn glanced at me, his eyes reflecting the myriad possibilities before us. "So, where to next, Captain?" I smiled, feeling the weight of the past and the pull of the future intertwined. "Somewhere the stars have yet to chart," I replied. The Silverwing flew on, into the heart of the galaxy, where the mysteries of the universe awaited their turn to be discovered and understood. Part 9: The Harbinger's Wisp Asterisk. With the Chalice Nebula a fading jewel behind us, the Silverwing glided through the vast ocean of stars, each one a silent witness to eons of cosmic drama. The Watcher ship had retreated into the folds of the nebula, its intentions still shrouded in mystery, but its presence lingered like a shadow just beyond the periphery of light. In the days that followed, I found my thoughts often returning to the reflections we'd seen, ancient warnings captured in the nebula's luminous archive. Their resonance had stirred something deep within, a call to vigilance and understanding as we navigated the ever-unfolding tapestry of the galaxy. We were charting a course toward a sector known only through whispers and fragments, home to a celestial phenomenon called the Harbinger's Wisp. It was said to be a place where the threads of time and space converged, a locus of energy and enigma. Ilara was at the helm, her focus unwavering as she piloted us through the labyrinthine corridors of the galaxy. "The Wisp isn't just an anomaly," she explained, her voice steady. "It's a convergence zone where the normal rules break down, a place of transition." "What kind of transition are we talking about?" Vorn asked, his skepticism colored with curiosity. "A shift in reality, perhaps," Aiko speculated, her eyes alive with the light of inquiry. "Or a crossroads of dimensions, the place where the universe decides its own fate." As we neared our destination, the ship's sensors went wild, struggling to parse the data tumbling in from the edge of the Wisp. It was a storm of light and shadow swirling in a cosmic dance, its core pulsing with an energy that felt both ancient and anticipatory. "We're entering a zone of temporal distortion," Aiko announced, her fingers deftly adjusting the controls to align our systems with the fluctuating frequencies. "It's like trying to catch a current in a river of time." The Silverwing shuddered as we crossed the threshold, reality bending around us in a kaleidoscope of color and sensation. It was as if we were passing through the veil of the universe itself, the ship a needle threading through the fabric of creation. Yet as we stabilized within the eye of the Wisp, the chaos subsided, revealing a landscape both surreal and serene. Stars and stellar remnants drifted in harmonious patterns, their light forming a latticework that stretched across the void. In the heart of this celestial tableau lay a singular structure, a spiraling edifice of light and matter, its form shifting as if caught between moments. It was the Wisp's heart, a nexus where timelines converged and diverged. "This place," Ilara breathed, her awe mirrored in the eyes of every crew member. "It's alive, a sentient star caught in the act of dreaming." We docked near the base of the spiraling structure, a pathway of luminescent strands extending like roots into the ether. As we stepped out onto the platform, the atmosphere hummed with anticipation, inviting us to explore deeper. The path led us through corridors of shifting light, each step resonating with the pulse of the Wisp. Within its walls, we saw echoes of possibilities, scenes from worlds reborn and futures yet to be written, each one a fragment of potential glimpsed through the lens of the here and now. The wisp doesn't just show the future, Aiko murmured, her gaze fixed on the ever-changing images. It reveals the choices we have yet to make, the paths that lay before us, waiting to be chosen. A soft voice like the chime of distant bells echoed through the chamber. Seekers of the harbinger, you stand at the crossroads. Choose wisely, for the threads you weave now will shape the fate of tomorrow. The message was clear, its implications vast. We were at the heart of a cosmic loom, each decision a thread in the tapestry of time. The weight of it settled upon us, a gravity beyond the physical, drawing us toward the core of the structure. As we approached, the structure revealed its hidden heart, a crystalline chamber glowing with a light that seemed to pulse in sync with our very souls. It was a library of sorts, a repository of potentialities waiting to unfold. Vorn, ever the pragmatist, approached with caution. What do we take from this? What knowledge do we seek to carry forward? I considered his question, the possibilities stretching before us like the infinite pathways of the wisp itself. We need to understand how the choices of today will shape the universe of tomorrow, to see the patterns and avoid the pitfalls that history has warned us about. With a collective breath, we stepped into the chamber, the light enveloping us in a warm embrace. The crystalline matrix responded, projecting an intricate tapestry of timelines and futures, each one a reflection of the choices we could make, a map of the paths yet untrodden. In that moment, the weight of our journey was eclipsed by the potential of what lay ahead. Each thread of the wisps weave a reminder of our place within the grand cosmic dance. As we emerged from the chamber, the path clear before us, the voice of the wisp lingered in our minds, a gentle reminder of the journey we had yet to complete. Back aboard the Silverwing, I set our course for the stars once more, the ship surging forward with purpose and resolve. The Harbinger's wisp had shown us the potential of what could be, and now it was up to us to navigate the future, guided by the light of our shared understanding and the legacy we sought to create. The universe stretched out before us, a tapestry of possibility, and we were ready to embrace the journey yet to come. Part 10: The Echoing Edge. Leaving the Harbinger's wisp felt like parting from an old friend, one who had shared with us secrets whispered across the eons. The Silverwing cruised through the depths of space, guided now by a clarity of purpose and the distant call of uncharted wonders. As we journeyed onward, the expanses of the galaxy unfurled in their silent beauty, a cosmic ballet that seemed to pulse with the echoes of all we had seen. Yet amidst the vast serenity, a new challenge awaited, a world on the fringes of a dying star cluster, rumored to harbor a relic from a civilization long vanished. Ilara plotted our course with precision, her gaze fixed on the holographic map glowing above the console. The planet is called Nocturne, a place of shadows and echoes. The relic there is said to be a beacon, but its true nature remains a mystery. Sounds like a proper ghost hunt, Vorn remarked, rubbing his hands together. I've always wanted to meet a ghost. Be careful what you wish for, Aiko chimed in, adjusting her scanners. Legends say the planet is alive with phantoms of its past, echoes that can ensnare the unwary. Our path led us into the heart of the cluster, where the star's light flickered like a candle on the verge of extinction, casting long shadows across the surface of Nocturne. The planet loomed beneath us, its landscape a tapestry of twilight hues and deep, resonant silences. The Silverwing descended softly, landing amidst the ruins of an ancient city now overgrown with iridescent flora. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something more elusive, a memory of time itself, woven into the fabric of the place. As we disembarked, the ground beneath our boots seemed to hum with potential, each step echoing through the quiet streets. The city was a labyrinth of towering spires and crumbling arches, their surfaces engraved with symbols unknown to us, yet familiar in their elegance. This place once lived, Ilara observed, her voice barely above a whisper. Now it's like a stage where the past repeats itself, a cycle waiting for resolution. Vorn nodded, his eyes scanning the darkened alleys. Let's hope we're not just playing parts in someone else's tragedy. Our path led us through the city, the ruins whispering untold stories as we passed. In the heart of the metropolis lay a great hall, its roof open to the sky, where the dying light of the star bathed everything in a somber glow. It was there in the center that we found the relic, a monolith of smooth obsidian stone, its surface unmarred by time. It pulsed faintly, a beacon of power hidden within its depths. "This is it," Aiko said, awe in her voice as she approached, "the heart of Nocturne, the key to its secrets." As she reached out, the monolith responded, projecting a series of images around us, visions of the city in its prime, vibrant and alive, its people crafting wonders that blurred the line between reality and imagination. "This is what they were," Alara murmured, captivated by the visions. "A civilization with the power to capture and reflect consciousness, to preserve memory as a living echo." But as the visions unfolded, they darkened, revealing the cataclysm that had befallen Nocturne, an event of such magnitude that it shattered their reality, leaving only shadows in its wake. "We need to understand what happened," I said, my voice resolute. "If we can decipher their downfall, we may find a way to help those who remain, those echoes still trapped here." The monolith pulsed again, its patterns shifting to reveal a sequence, a code, a pathway through the labyrinth of time that could lead to understanding. Yet even as we deciphered the code, the presence of the echoes grew stronger, their whispers rising to a chorus that filled the hall. They were guardians of their own legacy, urging us to unravel the truth hidden within their past. "We're not alone here," Vorn noted, his voice tense yet steady. "These echoes, they're guiding us for a reason." Together, we followed the path illuminated by the monolith's light, descending into the depths beneath the city. There, in the catacombs, we discovered the remnants of the civilization's greatest creation, a machine intertwined with the very fabric of the planet. "It's a consciousness engine," Aiko realized, her voice a blend of awe and understanding. "They sought to transcend their physical forms, to become part of the ecosystem, a unified consciousness. But something had gone wrong, a flaw in their design that led to catastrophe, their minds trapped in the endless cycle of the planet's memory." "We can reverse it," Alara said, determination in her eyes. "We have the monolith's code, we can free them." Working in concert, our team activated the machine, aligning its systems with the monolith's pulse and the planetary rhythms. The echoes crescendoed, a symphony of souls reaching for liberation. As the machine thrummed to life, a wave of energy swept through the catacombs, carrying with it the echoes of countless voices, their song one of release and rebirth. The city above awoke with new light, the relic's power infusing the land, the echoes dissipating into the ether, a final farewell to the world they had once called home. Standing together in the heart of Nocturne, we felt the gratitude of those we had helped, their legacy now woven into the stars. The relic had fulfilled its purpose, the echoes at peace. Back aboard the Silverwing, as we lifted off from the planet's embrace, I reflected on the journey behind us, a saga of discovery and redemption, each challenge a testament to our shared resolve. Ahead, the universe awaited, its mysteries unending and its beauty eternal. We were but travelers in its expanse, guided by the light of knowledge and the echoes of those who came before us, ready to step into the next chapter of our odyssey.